Hey guys, it's Brian Glass with the Live Life Big podcast, and today I've got with me Adam Waddell and Maz Movahed of Halo Fitness Experience in Burke. Welcome to the podcast, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
You're welcome. Why don't you tell the people that don't know you and a little bit about Halo?
Well, me and Adam, we used to work together in a previous company I owned called TNT Fitness. That's where I found this amazing person, and he's been like my little brother since then. We connected very closely, different than other people, and I think the first thing that we had that was connecting us was our faith in God. That keeps us connected, and everything we do is a walk in faith. That's what it's always been about. But in the bigger picture of what Halo's about, without making it too long, and I'll make sure to answer any questions you have.
Go ahead.
Our mission is literally on a giant banner that covers 30 by 30 in our facility. And it's about giving affordable training to all people. People need help. They really do. And what we see out there right now in the fitness industry is a model that is terrible. You got to think about this. Would you go to a doctor that had a 10% success rate? No, you wouldn't. So you got to get rid of this model. We have 90% of people that join a gym after their sixth workout never come back again. Never. So why do we continue this model? This model it's just not good. It's a bad model. Almost every big fitness company you see in the United States is owned by a real estate brokerage or a holding company.
So let's talk a little bit about your gym and what makes it different. And I'll tell you that what attracted me to the gym was CrossFit, and CrossFit on an affordable scale.
Yeah.
It's something that Ben has been doing for 2 years, and I said, it's a cult and I'm not coming. By my background, I'm an ultra-marathon runner. And we had our third baby last summer. I ran my last race for the time being last summer and just ran out of time. And so when I met Adam in October of 2018, I said to him, what I need is something succinct where I can get in, sweat, get out, and not spend the next 4 hours recovering on the couch. So what is it that's going on under the roof in your gym?
So first and foremost, it's culture. We are trying to set a culture, and we are trying to set a precedent where it's all inviting, all welcoming. Everyone can come there, have a good experience. Like, that's why the experience is in our name. So what we're really trying to create with Halo Fitness is just an environment where there's no cliques, no cliches. It's a good environment. You don't know what people are going through, so they can come through those doors. They can come in, get a great workout, feel accomplished, and then they can leave, and it be their happy place.
But from a showing up and fitness experience, it's not just CrossFit. So what other kinds of things do you have in there?
So we have, CrossFit, so if you have a CrossFit facility, generally, they don't have the other components that we offer. It's usually just a specific group of people. And what you generally get with a CrossFit facility is, we were all athletes, the three of us sitting here right now. Like I talked about earlier before the podcast started, fitness was a part of our life, our whole life, right? So that's normal to us. When I got into the working world of fitness, I was shocked at what I saw. I didn't think it was like this. I was, I guess, just so focused on sports and wrestling in college. Everyone works out, they must work out. And I just didn't look what was out there. No one works out. 90% of people don't work out at all. That's why we have so many issues with health insurance costs going through the roof and people dying of, you name it, every single day. And, I have back pain, injuries from wrestling that I have. Adam has issues. I'm sure you got some from soccer, but at the same time, they feel terrible and they don't even know what good feels like.
Right. Your baseline is just so much higher than somebody who's on the couch 7 days a week.
So America is actually going through what's called an epidemiological transition right now when it comes to health and fitness. We're actually seeing morbidity rates and life expectancy go down for the first time ever, okay? That is a big concern, and it's a sedentary lifestyle. That's what's causing most of this. So what Maz and I, when we originally founded this, we want to help those 90%. You're in the part of the 10%, which is great. And even so, a lot of the people that are coming to Halo and boutique fitness gyms right now, they're still part of fitness to some degree, has been a part of their life. What we ultimately want to reach is that true 90% where, listen, I'm sitting 20 hours a day, I'm not eating healthy, I am getting zero exercise, probably less than 1,500 to 2,000 steps a day. They're the people we ultimately want to help. And that's more of the mission.
Yeah,
standpoint.
absolutely. That's the mission of what we want to do.
And Maz was talking just before we got started about the numbers that you can show people about the dramatic increase that you can make in their lives just with one time a week into the gym.
Yeah.
So this
Talk
is
about that a little bit.
You know what is frustrating? You have, let's say they go to the doctor, and a doctor is always the person that's being referenced, though a lot of doctors, I'm not saying all of them, a lot of them don't exercise. I know this because I've trained a lot of them, and you look at the stats out there. So they prescribe, go exercise. They need to be way more specific with what they're saying. They need to say, go strength train. Because when you strength train, so much more happens. You can't just go out and do cardiovascular training. That's not going to be enough. If you strength train at least once a week, the stats show study after study, 12-week study after 12-week study that show you will have a significant decrease in body fat. Just strength training full body once a week. We're not saying come do CrossFit. We're saying come do peak, for example, the very basics, which will hit every single muscle group. And once a week, if you do that, if you can commit to that, guess what? You're going to see a dramatic shift in your health. Like I said when we were talking earlier, they're not going to look like you. They're not going to look like Adam. I'm not going to say myself in this situation because I could be in better shape. Because I honestly, with my kids and responsibilities that I have in my own life, I can get in 3 days a week. I wish I could have the time to get in 5. I'd be in amazing shape. But 3 is enough for me. I strength train 3 days a week, and I get a little bit of cardio in there too. And I feel good and I feel strong, right? But to be able to accomplish that for the general population, the 90%ers, that is so difficult to do. So let's aim for one. Let's take one step.
And I'll tell you just from my own experience. So last summer I ran 70 miles, right? So I should be
In one day?
in one day in 20. Oh geez, it's in 20-ish hours, right? 20 hours and 43 minutes, something like that.
It's amazing. Yeah.
No, 19 something. Anyway, that's not the point. I came to you guys, and one of the things that happens as part of the onboarding process is we do a body fat measurement, 24% body fat, because all I was doing was running. And I tried to go to the gym, and I would lift weights, right? But I didn't really know what I was doing, and I did the what every bro does in the gym: lift weights, spend 2 minutes looking at my phone, lift a couple more weights, 2 more minutes, right? And didn't see really any changes. So 3 months in, you do another body fat check, and I was down to 18%.
Wow.
In the first.
Good for you.
In the first, and then the most recent body fat check, 6 months in, 14.5.
Good for you. That's
So
fantastic.
I've seen just a fantastic change in and I haven't lost any weight.
Yeah.
I think I've lost about 5 pounds, but a dramatic change in my physique.
Yeah.
So the weight
Just
loss,
with the weightlifting.
right? So the weight loss won't occur because you're putting muscle on your body. The thing that you described as a runner, man, I've had, like, we do body fat checks over the years. I've been in this industry since I was 22, and a lot of runners would get mad at me when they would do body fat. I'm running all the time, but this is why the doctors should say strength train, because if you're not strength training, you're not building muscle. Totally different energy systems, totally different. So if we're training different energy systems, we can't be in a cardiovascular state. We need to stay in the first 2 energy systems that are not cardiovascular, they don't use oxygen, so we can build muscle. If you're not training in those non-oxidative states, guess what's going to happen? You're not going to build muscle, your body fat's not going to go down. You will be lean. When I say lean, skinny.
Right.
I would use the word skinny,
Right.
but you're what's called, in a goofy term, skinny fat,
Right.
right? So how do we fix that? Just a little bit of weight training, like what happened with you, turn your body around in such a short period of time. And now you look great. I mean, you can just see it in your clothes. Look at you. You look like, if I saw you from the outside, I'd say you're in really great shape, you know?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
From along the same standpoint is you've been taxing a lot of that what's called glycolytic energy system, right? And that extrapolates both to anaerobic and oxidative.
This is what happens when you have the masters of health sciences from Hopkins guy on the podcast. Who's a bunch of 13-letter words.
But
Yes.
we're going to break that down just a little bit. By you training that middle energy system, you are still yielding all the results, at least from the aerobic capacity side of things, by doing your workout, and specifically CrossFit for you. And what you're seeing is you're actually building compounding interest, like, for your body. That's how I always like to equate it. It's like saving in a retirement account. Okay, lean muscle will burn 2 to 3 times as many calories as fat will. So if you're changing your composition, you're actually, providing dividends that are compounding as you continue to do this, right? So here you are, you're doing this 1 45-minute workout, right? And rather than running 6 hours, and you're yielding more results. And that's just going to keep snowballing and compounding. And in another year, 2 year time, you're going to be like, oh my, it's even better.
And now I can eat more.
And now you can eat more.
If we're being honest.
I was similar to you. I mean, I went through a period of time where I was road biking a lot, and I would still lift, right? But I got into really long endurance road biking competition. It's just a lot of fun. You know what it's like when you do long endurance sports? It's just a lot of fun. I always kept strength training going with that. But as I learned more about CrossFit, I found myself changing my training pattern in the past 2 or 3 years. Sadly, I spent a lot of money on bikes over the past few years, and I have a Ferrari bike in my garage just hanging there now, and it's efficiency for me. So I'm looking at it. It's literally what Adam just said. I look at that bike and I'm like, I don't have to go ride for 3 hours to get the same result. I'm not going to need to do that. Now I just do it because my son just finally can fit on his bike and we ride together. Like, he needs to go faster.
That's what my wife says. She's like, running is a free sport. How are you spending so much money on shoes and nutrition stuff?
Yeah.
Well, it's free, but the shoes wear out.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Especially if you're putting 70-mile days on them.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
miles.
the only ones.
Yeah.
I did 100 a couple of years ago.
Oh.
Just under 24 hours.
Jeez.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, and you know what's interesting is after both of those are the 2 longest races that I've run, and after both of those races, I've just shut it down.
Yeah.
So for the next 2 months, really do nothing. Then I started coming to your gym after the most recent one. But after the 100-mile one, it took me a long time to want to go back and run again.
Yeah.
Whether it's adrenal fatigue or just wearing your body out, I don't know. But I've had a hard time getting back on the horse after those.
Are you finding that the constantly varied, aspect of CrossFit is helping you or making you want to come back?
I was thinking about that the other morning. Training for those races, there are days when you wake up and you're like, I just don't want to do this, right? And I haven't had that with CrossFit, except on nights where my kids don't sleep all the way through the night. So like last night, for instance, I'm up for an hour and a half, and then woke up at 4:30 to go run with Matt, and I was like, But it's not as bad as waking up and going, shit, I gotta go do 10 miles at a slow pace around a lake. So I have found that I wake up and I'm like, oh, what's the workout? I gotta check Zen Planner, and so I'm excited. It's almost like being in college, right? I've got for the first time a whole bunch of new friends, and everything is something exciting and different. And there's a lot of learning about the movements, because I don't know how to do most of what we're doing. I've never done in my life. So it's been exciting, and we talked about how probably still in the honeymoon phase a little bit.
Enjoy those PRs.
Yeah. But no, it is the constantly varied, what is it, high intensity
functional movements.
Right. It keeps it interesting.
Good.
So talk to me about your background. Maz, your dad is a former Olympic champion.
So fitness has been just exercise has been a part of my life since I was a small kid. My dad was an Olympic gold medalist and 6-time world champion. He's in the Hall of Fame of wrestling. He's Iranian, considered the greatest they've ever had by far. So that was just normal in my life. I started out as a gymnast, then got into wrestling. I wrestled at George Mason, got my undergraduate degree there, got my master's degree there. And as much as I wanted to leave this area, I grew up in Herndon.
Right.
It's like the universe doesn't want me to leave. And I think it was to be able to start TNT, meet people like him, make a difference. I feel like what we did with my original business, which was TNT Fitness, gave the opportunity to, because the goal was from day one, this is really how it started and has ultimately led to the vision of Halo. I was doing my internship at Woodbridge Sport and Health, and I was on the stairs. I tell the story to anyone that goes through, like if we're going to interview someone, because I want them to know what I'm about. So I'm standing on the stairs at Woodbridge Sport and Health, and like I said, I didn't know that 90% of people don't use the gym. And I'm standing on the stairs, and this story I'm going to tell is what drives me every day, because it's such a scam the fitness industry is pulling. So we're standing up there. My buddy Ray was the fitness director. It was my backup internship. The place I wanted to go to was the Olympic Training Center. And this is what I mean by like the universe won't let me leave. I had my dad hook me up and get the president of the Olympic Committee of Iran call the president of the Olympic Committee of the US to get me the internship at the Olympic Training Center because I wanted to get out of Northern Virginia. I'd lived here my whole life, right? I got the alternate spot. So I ended up going to Woodward Sport and Health, which is literally, that facility was the worst personal training facility in terms of revenue in all the sport and health organization at the time, right? So I'm standing on the stairs. I've been there as an intern for about 2 weeks. Literally, my boy from college, we were tight. We were like brothers. He was the fitness director. I called him like the week before. I was like, oh man, I thought I was going to get this internship. I need a backup. Can I just do it there? He goes, we've never had an intern before, but yeah, do whatever you want. Yeah. So he let me do whatever I want. I'm standing at the stairs. I turn to Ray and I go, I've been here for like a week, man. I see the same people all the time. How do they stay open with like 200 people? He goes, take a guess how many people are members here. I go, well, I see 200. There must be like, I'm just a kid, stupid at this time, very naive, thinking everyone wants to do good in the world. And I go, 250? He smacks me on the side of my head. He's like, are you kidding? How would they be open? I go, well, how many people are members? He goes, this facility has over 3,000 members. Wow. I go, what? Are you kidding me? I go, where are they? He goes, that's the scam. Yeah. It's all about, they come in, we sell them, they prey on their good intentions. And what's hilarious, I've been at they bought my company, Sport and Health, which is owned by US Fitness, bought my company in 2016. I got suckered in by the owner thinking we were actually going to make a change in the world. He's just a good salesman, and I'm a sucker. So I sold him my company, got pretty much ripped off for the buyout and stuff. But for the purpose of doing good in the world, it was worth it to me, 100%, because I thought we could really make a difference with this. Like, okay, after 17 years of doing this, and we've been doing so good, we've been getting affordable training to all people. How can we get to more people to really give them the ability to get the support and help to get them in shape so they wouldn't be part of this 90% that doesn't go to the gym, but they keep paying donations to health clubs. So I remember this. After they bought the company, it was probably a month or two after, and it was a promise that was made to me that we would start contacting people that don't show up to the facility. They told me they would do that. The owner literally told me, no, we don't want to wake up that sleeping dragon, is what he called it.
We'd have to hire more staff.
Yeah, because everyone's going to start canceling. We don't want them to cancel. I go, but in TNT, we always contacted them. They didn't cancel. Our retention was through the roof in TNT. Why would people start canceling? Just talk to them. Ask them, why aren't you coming to the gym? Can you get in once a week? They wouldn't do it. They were so terrified of it because the fact is they don't care. They got into this business to make money off people that are not going to come to the gym to exercise. And that's where it started for me. That's a wrong thing to do. Fitness gave me not fitness, it's weight training, gave me the confidence that when I'm in the weight room as a kid, I remember I was the strongest kid in my weight training class. And here I am, a freshman, I think, in high school, and I'm stronger than the seniors, and all these seniors are talking to me and respecting me. And I'm walking down the hallway with my little nerdy freshman friends, and the most popular seniors are like, Maz, what's up, coming out with us? Oh my God. And they're like, you know that kind of thing. You're like a little kid, and you remember these things. And it was weight training that gave me that. And it was confidence. And if I can make someone else feel good with what I learned about the weight room, which to me is a sacred place, it would be a great thing. And that's really the bigger part mission, is to get that 90%, not to be super physically fit. That's a big step for them. Not for them to go and change your diet today completely. No, just recognize this fact that no one talks about. If you just exercise, let me be specific, strength train one time a week and get a little bit of cardio in that same hour that you're there, your life will change. You will feel so much better. Let's form a habit over 7 weeks, and then can you do 2 days? I'm not trying to push it. I understand life is complicated. To be able to look super fit, how many days do you work out?
5.
5. That's very hard to stay consistent with that. You have extreme discipline. Yeah. That's not normal. Not normal, it's extraordinary. That's what I would say. People out there aren't like that. I'm the one that fields, we call my role right now as a retention director. We had it in TNT forever, right? So everything flows through me, right? In terms of communication of, hey, I don't want to continue, or I can't come in. So people will ping me with an email saying, I'm sick, I don't feel well. Literally, we have at least 200 participants that I'm communicating with on a regular basis that come in maybe, I think the number is around 3-point-something times a month. But they don't quit. They love that I'm reaching out to them because they need it. They need me to be on their shoulder, in their ear. Yeah. Our big thing is accountability. And I'm trying to get them to come in because I don't want them to die of a heart attack. I don't want them to get cancer. And I know if they strength train, because the data shows that there's, for example, there's a Cornell study that shows that if you just exercise, they're talking about walking, man, just walking 1 hour per week, 1 hour per week will bring down healthcare costs per person, per month, $1,100 per month.
Wow.
Can you imagine what would happen if we got everyone in America to just walk once a week? And I'm not even recommending that. I'm saying lift weights once a week, which will be way more dramatic result. But once a week of walking for an hour, studies showed that $1,100 per month, that's a lot, man. It would change our entire society.
Yeah.
Your father's a business owner. We're business owners. Healthcare costs is through the roof. It doesn't need to go like this. When I started TNT, I was paying $67 for my health insurance. Now it's like ridiculous what it costs. It shouldn't be that way, but we've created a system that doesn't give people an opportunity to fix that. And we want to be able to help them with that, with affordable, professional training. You're getting right now training for unlimited $79 per month.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
It's
what
ridiculous.
I'm paying per session. Yeah, you guys are losing money on me.
It is totally okay.
It's all right.
Totally
It's okay. It's okay, because you know what? At the end of the day, if we help you, here's the truth of the matter, and this is what people are afraid to say. You're going to go and recommend it and tell other people.
Right. And you know I'm super fan number one.
Of course.
Maybe number two.
And we appreciate that, and we're willing to play the long game a little bit more because we know we can help more people if we do it this way. So we always say it's about accessibility, okay? Public health, it's all accessibility, right? So if you provide an amazing price point, it's going to generate some interest. But then you provide an immaculate facility, and now people are a little confused, okay? And then you give them amazing coaching, and now they're just downright, they don't understand what's happening, okay? But the thing is, through our economics and what we figured out, like, it can work, okay? We don't have to squeeze out every single penny from every person. What we're doing is we're opening up accessibility to an entirely new demographic of people. People who have always wanted this type of training, but just can't justify the fact that it's $200 a month or $125 an hour for personal training.
Right.
So it's a first step, and it's a good step of getting those people who want to at least be a part of this fitness world into the doors, start to change their lives for the positive, and then the snowball actually begins. And that's where we are. That's what this mission is all about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Providing accessibility.
And so you grew up around sports your whole life too. You a competitive gymnast from 5 to 11. Are you honestly a competitive gymnast at age 5?
I mean, yeah.
That's incredible.
You're training 4 to 5 times a week and literally competing every weekend. And that was my life for 6 years. After that, I wanted to play baseball, basketball, football, and track. Played football and track in college. Sports has been a large part of my life.
Dual sport star in college, NCAA level decathlete, right?
Yes, sir.
And so how much, Maz talked about growing up around it and just assuming this is normal. How much, and we talk about you're the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time around, right? How much of people working out or not working out do you think is that when they look around, they see everybody else drinking sodas, and eating bonbons, and eating chips, and they go, oh, "This is, I got a Diet Coke, so I'm fine." Versus coming in at 5:30 Monday, Tuesday, and working out with the guys that are then going to the Pentagon who are in really, really good shape at your gym. Do you think there's a lot to that? Who you hang out with is what you become?
If you're with them a lot.
Yeah.
But outside of that, no. I mean, you're a parent. You know how much our kids copy what we do. Literally, I see my parents, my kids copying what we do all the time. But you need to be around them more. And I think that's where the culture of, we have more than just a CrossFit.
Absolutely.
I was going to say CrossFit because I don't want it to sound like it's a CrossFit facility. It's a CrossFit is one studio. You have multiple studios for different styles. You have general fitness. You have cardiovascular metabolic conditioning, and different tiers. We even built that new area of peak athletic, which is designed for athletes. That, you know, we have guys from the NCAP, the guys that are going to the Olympics, training in that space. But if you're around people that have a habit of exercise, but I also think this is the other part, that as you get older, I think you find those people and you avoid the people, I wouldn't say avoid, but you just find your friends like that are more in line with your goals, and then you're around them all the time, and then you get lost like I did, and Adam probably did, and you did, where you don't see the unhealthy ones, and you don't realize how bad it is. It's bad.
So I did the peak strength the other day for the first time, and that kicked my butt.
It's tough.
And you know, the whole facility, I've been saying to people, is a little bit CrossFit in disguise. Even the non-CrossFit stuff. It's 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off. Complex compound movements, right? And you get an entire body workout. You have 12 stations there. I got through the 5th, thinking I was done at number 6, and then realized that there's a whole second row. I was very disappointed to learn that. So whoever's designing that, that's a really good workout, and that's after.
That's this
6
guy.
months.
That's literally the design I had
that's
our TNT.
It's a really hard workout.
Yeah, it's a good workout, good full body workout. Something you said in there, you said the disguising it of CrossFit. So this is the sad part. CrossFit is so awesome, but because I would say not all at all. So I hope if anyone hears this, they don't take it that way. But there's just CrossFit has gotten a bad name.
Yeah.
And in terms of injuries, risk, you can get that in anything. That's all there is to it. It's as simple as that. CrossFit is a sport. It's a sport that high-level athletes, CrossFit elite athletes compete in. So Olympic lifting is a sport, but that doesn't mean every CrossFit workout you're doing Olympic lifts. That's not the design of it. But there's a balance. And when you have excellent instructors like Jason and Adam that coach in our facility, they're gonna make the adjustments. We make sure that we're hiring. This is another thing that the fitness industry has, which is sad, and it's always been an issue with me. When I had TNT Fitness, I didn't hire anyone unless they had a degree in fitness, okay? The industry, anyone, like, you seem like a smart guy. It's funny because there was a speech that a lawyer gave at the URSA convention, which is basically what the fitness industry considers their national convention for all the top people to go to in the fitness industry. I've never gone to it because I don't want anything to do with that stuff. Anyways, but they had a lawyer say, hey, your industry is messed up because I went and became a personal trainer by passing a certification.
Right.
I have an excellent memory.
On
I know
paper.
nothing.
Yeah.
He literally said, I know nothing about fitness, but there's something wrong with your industry because I have a photographic memory, is what he said. I read one thing, a study guide for this certification, and now I can go work in your facility? Are you kidding? So when you have people like that, it becomes disturbing, because here's a guy with a master's degree from Johns Hopkins, a guy from a master's degree from George Mason. You heard 5 years old he starts in sports. I started around 7. That's a long time. And we're talking, we were lifting weights like animals, starting at around what, you were like 8?
Yeah.
I was like 10. I'm not kidding you.
Right.
Like animals.
Right.
And that's normal to us.
Yeah.
But guess what? The industry isn't designed for this. You're going to hire a ton of people that are not qualified to teach. So you're going to see a guy training, wearing the same uniform at a gym. They literally, they might be passionate. I'm not discounting someone that he might be passionate, educated himself, knows a lot, fantastic trainer. But that's few and far between. The vast majority are a weekend certification, memorize a bunch of information, and they're hurting a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And the same problem happens with CrossFit. I literally took my L1 because I knew I wasn't going to be coaching in CrossFit, even though I can do that style of coaching because it's athletic strength training, right? Like the stuff that I did in college and the stuff I'm trained to do as well. But it wasn't what I was going to be doing in the facility, the first Halo. But I wanted to get the L1 because if we're going to have a partnership in a business, I want to make sure that I understand it. And I'm always looking to improve myself, right?
Yeah.
So I went there incognito. A lot of the people there knew me, but I was just trying not to be figured out. And I just wanted to see what it was, the full grasp of what it was, not just, and make a true judgment of what CrossFit was. I think it's fantastic. Everything that I saw there was fantastic. But once again, I saw a lot of people that basically at the end of that L1, they're actually allowed to go be a CrossFit coach. And a lot of facilities, will let them be. There's only a handful, I believe, that are way more strict in, hey, we're super strict. you got to go through an internship with us. You got to get this. You got to build it up. You got to make sure that you know all your adjustments, make your changes. We're talking Olympic lifts. It's a sport. You got to make sure you can adjust for it when you decide to put those movements into a workout. And that applies across the board to the fitness industry, that there just isn't a ton of qualified people out there. And what it does for qualified people like us, like if TNT didn't happen, there was no way I was going to stay in the fitness industry. I was going to become a professor. I'm a teacher at heart. I would, you know what, this is the direction I'm going to go. I'm going to become a professor. What I found was with TNT, we were able to make a good income doing what we loved. And I thought to myself, man, I bet I can do this for a lot of people. And found a great guy like him and other people before him that were part of our program.
And you saved Adam from moving to Nashville.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. So another thing is, not only does the industry prey on the people, but it's also the coaches as well, in my opinion, because they take these people who are they have such a pure heart, okay, that like they got results themselves, and all they want to do is they want to go and help other people, okay, and then they get their cert, and they go inside these facilities, and they get what's called the 4 nines. They basically get 4 nines commission, all right, and they would literally have to work 70 hours a week inside of most Globo Gyms just to eke out a living. Luckily, I was introduced to Maz's company through a mutual friend, and he was actually paying people well, okay? And it was surprising. And once again, it turns out if you do that, you can continue to attract, better talent.
Right.
And so, we're trying to take that same methodology that he had from his previous business with TNT, and we want to create awesome, not jobs, partnerships with people who want to come and be part of this vision and this mission with what we're really trying to do, which is disrupt it. And I know a lot of people say they want to disrupt an industry, but the actions will speak for themselves. You don't have to, once again, take all the profits up front, gouge people. You create good environments for people to work inside of. You create a welcoming atmosphere. You make things infinitely scalable so everyone can do it. I say this anecdote to everyone about my mom. Started CrossFit when she was 57. She's never worked out, scared to death. I'm a hand holder by nature. I like to get people excited, as you probably know through a couple workouts. But, once you get someone like that involved and you make them feel secure and okay, and this is a good place, they flourish. And then then their life starts to change. We don't know what everyone's going through when they step through those doors. And to be honest with you, it's something. Everyone's going through something, and we don't know what that is. But if we can make an atmosphere that all people can come in, have a good time, and honestly improve their health a little bit as well, man, we're doing something good in the world. And we want to continue that. We want to do that to a larger degree.
I saw videos of your mom doing clean and jerks.
Yeah, yeah, unbelievable.
That's
Yeah.
Without little baby weights. It's impressive, man.
Yeah.
It's a good job.
Yeah.
So talk to me about the origin. So you told me at one point you were gonna pack up shop and move down to Nashville and
Yeah.
open your own box.
Yeah.
Where your country music would have been better received.
Country Thursdays. Yeah. Had a great tenure with Maz at TNT, about 6 years, and I started going into the world of CrossFit and doing some competing there and opening up boxes. But there was an opportunity that presented itself in Nashville, and I am a big country fan, and I thought it would be an amazing opportunity. And I reached out to my big brother here and said, would that be something you'd be interested in possibly partnering? And he just looked at me and said, why don't we do it? And within the week, I was down in Northern Virginia, and we started cultivating, what Halo has become over the past 2 years.
Yep.
And so when was that? Was that early 2018?
June 5th, 2017 is when I moved in.
Okay. And so one of the phrases you've used over and over is burn the boats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So how important has that philosophy been to you and to the success?
For me, and Maz can speak on this as well, it's find your passion and let it kill you. All in. There is no plan B. Mm-hmm. This is it. And when when you don't have that lifeline, you got to figure it out. And that has been the motto since I moved down. Mm-hmm. Both of us, just all in, because it's not us. We're just trying to be stewards of God's plan, in my opinion. So this is what I believe I'm called to do. All things work together for good, and this is the journey that we're on. So we're gonna try to help a lot of people.
You guys found a little former waste management facility in a back alley in Burke.
It was a weird story.
tell them.
Really weird. So
This is
when
crazy.
Adam contacted me to, he was going to move down out of nowhere. It was literally out of nowhere. One phone call. Why do you want to do this? Just do it together. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Great.
And he's there in my basement a week later. That's awesome. So for me and Adam, it was at that point, I was at a point when I was at US Fitness where I said earlier, where nothing they said was actually happening. And I kept communicating to the owner. And this guy's he's a cool cat. I'm not saying he's a cool guy if you hung out with him, but he's a business guy. He's not a fitness guy. He might say he works out, and if you heard this, oh well, it is what it is. I don't really care. But he's a good guy. I like him on a personal level. It's just he wants to make money, and I'm not judging anyone on that. My goals are just different. I want to help people become healthy. If you put money first, it's very difficult to accomplish that, the way the structure of the fitness industry is right now. So I was literally depressed where I was. All of the amazing people that had stayed on board for the buyout, and they were left. Guys like him left. It wasn't a good thing. My goal was always to create the best jobs in the fitness industry, and even that part, which once I came on board, he completely cut the pay in half, and I was like, "What just happened here?"
Yeah.
Yeah. You said it wasn't gonna. Oh, we need to do that. Anyway, so I was really in a bad place where I didn't know what I wanted to do. They paid me well, but it was less than I was making when I was my own business. But at the same time, I didn't want to be there. It didn't make any sense to keep pursuing something that would never accomplish a goal of making an impact on anyone's lives. I didn't want to end up a guy just making money. That's a horrible feeling. I don't live my life. Ask him. And he's like, it's money. I don't care. It makes no difference to me. That's a weird way to live your life, but I've been that way since I was a kid. So we go and we just basically burn the boats like we said.
Yeah.
And we said, we're going to start this place. We first wanted to get, it's funny, this place right by my house, literally right by my house you're from this area, you'll probably know it, right in Fair City Mall, there was a space that was about 3,000 square feet.
Okay.
It actually ultimately became an Orange Theory.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
so funny because we were going to do basically a wave in there.
Right.
That's what wave was going to be.
Right.
It was going to be in that space. And in my mind, I always had envisioned a large-scale health club, but it's always getting what I would call workout police. It's called light coaching is how I envisioned it, where people just need some guidance and someone's going to hold them accountable, meaning reaching out to them when they miss and things like that, but giving them guidance. But there was no way we could do that in a small-scale facility like that. It would have been very similar to a studio like Orange Theory, what you would have seen Wave, and we would have had to charge more. There's no question. We would have made it way more affordable than what's out there, but we would have had to charge more because it was right in a retail shopping center. The costs it'd just be too much. So we were actually about to sign a lease, but then this is where it gets funny. This is actually a funny story.
Oh man.
So our real estate guy got a pit bull lawyer, and what was her name? Paulette, the pit bull lawyer. Because she was a pit bull, the company got really turned off and said, if this is the kind of person you're going to have, we don't want anything to do with you.
Wow.
And they ended up rescinding on our lease. We had an LOI set up, everything. Okay. And I just was like, God, why? Why is this happening? How much more do I have to go through? This is horrible. I was at US Fitness and now this. And my daughter goes to Capital Gymnastics, right next door. And she's been a competitive gymnast there for many years. And I always used to, even back when it was TNT, this goes all the way back to like 2003 when she started, 2013 when she started there. I'm over there and I'm always looking next door at this empty building. And what had happened is Waste Management was just paying the lease on it. They have so much money, they don't care. So they just kept the lease, but it was empty.
They weren't even in there.
They weren't even in there.
Oh.
It was empty for like 10 years. Nothing was in there at all. It was completely empty. And I'm just looking at this place and wondering, for years, why is it always empty? Why is it always empty, right? And I pull up the day after that lease fell through, dropping Lila off in the morning, right, for practice. And I had this app, Netloopers, the app that I had, right? and it was set to ping whenever I'm near like a place that's up. And the second I'm pulling in, something's pinging. Like, what's going on? Because I had wanted this. I dreamed about it. I'd envisioned it. I was like, God, it'd be so great if this was the space, because I had always wanted, we almost opened up a TNT facility that would have been maybe 4,000 square feet, nothing like what you're seeing right now, back in 2012. It's a long story why it didn't happen, but it was, again, promises from Sport and Health, which, long story. Yeah. Anyways, so this thing pings, and I'm like, we pull up, drop Lyle off, and then I pull my phone out. Are you kidding me?
Right. It's a serendipity that we talked about just before we started.
That place. I immediately call our real estate guy and I go, you got to get us in here ASAP, right now. We need to get in here. We have to. And it was way bigger than what we were doing, but the square foot cost was significantly less. Sure. So even though it ended up being more, it was not that much more, right? So we got into the place, learned a lot through the process.
Right.
Yeah. Probably should have used your neighbor for his help, but you learn. And we hopefully, as we open more of these, we won't go through that. But basically, it was just waiting. A lot of times people say to me, man, you were so smart. You figured things out. I'm just like, nope. I'm about as dumb as a rock. It just seems that the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, works things out for me as long as I'm trying to do the right thing. And I really try to do the right thing. That doesn't make me a good person, though. I'm just saying I try to do the right thing, specifically in the fitness world. So, and that's how we ended up here. Yeah.
So the construction was harder than you thought it would be. What has been easier than you thought it would be?
The number of people that are actually wanted to sign up at our gym.
Yeah.
I didn't think it'd be
Well,
this easy.
because you guys are in a weird space, because there's and I won't use the names, but there's a low cost gym very close to you.
Yeah.
In the same, I would call it a shopping center if it were a shopping center. There's a global gym within 2.5 miles.
Yeah.
And there's another CrossFit box within 2 miles.
Mm-hmm.
So did you consider when you were, I guess not, when you were looking for space, because you weren't looking for the space, where is
I
the
knew
sweet
exactly
spot?
what I was getting into.
Yeah.
But I wasn't looking for a sweet spot. I just knew. So going back to what I originally had envisioned for, in 1999 when I started TNT, I was thinking, I wish I could find a spot that could be in the middle of a housing community, is what I really, and that's hard to find, right? And people, like, I remember I even brought one of the guys that used to work at US Fitness that was pretty high up. I thought he was going to partner with us to do this, but he bailed on me. Anyways, when I pulled up in there, being that he's so trained in the fitness industry and how they think and what they are, he's like, no, we can't go here.
There's no visibility.
Yeah, there's no visibility. I go, trust me, man. We are surrounded by housing upon housing, and if we want to make an impact on people, we need the people that are regular people to come here, that we're going to get the word out to them. He goes, you could just see it in his face. And of course, he didn't invest in the process. I'm sure I don't know if he regrets it, but he always talked about, well, I want to be rich. I want to be rich. Well, I guess he lost his chance. So long story short, not that we're rich or anything, but it's like his opportunity if he wanted to make a smart investment into something that not only, and believe me, I'm not one of those people that doesn't believe in making money, because I don't want that to be thought of. I believe if you help people, why can't you make money? Mm-hmm. But make the helping people part first. So that's what we aim for. And if we make a decent living off helping people, man, I couldn't ask for something. And I don't think anyone can ask for anything better than that. That's what we're aiming for. And that's how we got the spot. It was a miracle.
The thinking of the process of which surprised us the most was definitely literally building a gym. That was something. However, the hypothesis of, can we get a lot of people under one roof and provide? Yeah, we've done that before. It was segmented through other locations, but that part actually, we knew we just had to get to the open date, and then we could go do what we're really good at doing, which is helping a lot of people and providing really awesome fitness for a large scale operation. So that part actually hadn't surprised us. It was the building of the gym, which, if you've ever built a gym before, it's not easy.
I haven't.
From a warehouse to a finished product such as Halo today.
Yeah.
That was challenging.
Well, I remember you and I met, I think, in August, and you were like, yeah, we open first week of October. October came and went.
Yeah, it did.
November came and went. You're like, December's going to be free for all our members. December came and went.
What a nightmare.
Yeah.
Fairfax County is just...
That was rough.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're tough.
Yeah.
But we opened.
You opened.
That's
and we learned a ton. And you know what? I wouldn't say I'd necessarily want to go through it again, but if we knew the outcome of what's happened in the last 5 months and the amount of people that, you can put on a good trajectory as far as health and wellness goes, yeah, we'd do it again.
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely.
100%.
Well, and so that brings me, I think, toward to the end. What's the goal? Is it a multi-chain, multi-location spot? How important are the people to your gym, and is it something that you think you can replicate over a number of locations?
And we were chatting about this a little bit. There's a phenomenon called proximity bias. Okay, whereas they always say if there's a starving kid right in front of you, that you would do something for that child. You would pick him or her up because you could literally see it. I don't want to let a proximity bias stop us from going and doing this again, over and over and over again, because there's another 500 to 1,000 people in every suburb, not of DC, but everywhere, that could benefit from this type of training and that we could help. So yeah, that's the goal, is to help as many people as we can for as long as we can.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I think that's a good spot to close up. Why don't you tell people where they can find you? Social media, Burke?
Yeah, absolutely.
Where do you want people to find you?
You can
go to our website first,
Yeah.
so you can learn about what we are. www.halofitnessexperience.com.
halofitnessexperience.com. Yeah.
Yeah. Go on our Facebook page.
Go on Facebook page. Check out the About Us section. See what the mission is all about. If you're interested, come in. We'd love to have you try us out.
Yeah, everyone gets a free week. We have a pretty cool thing. Okay, so this is a pretty cool thing that we have right now. If you cancel,
okay. Yeah, I'm going to talk about something different.
But we want to have we want to fight the fitness industry. They got to either change or not change.
Yeah.
It's not like we're right, but someone needs to do something better than what's out there. And that's what we're trying to do. And once again, I'm not trying to say we have the right path, but we're not going to walk the path that's there. So what we're saying is, if you cancel your membership of your studio, it doesn't matter if it's yoga, Pilates, One Life, Lifetime, it doesn't matter. Cancel your membership, show us proof of cancel.
Sure.
You're going to get a month for free. And then if you join in the first week at Halo, you're going to get your second month for free. We're going to give you 2 months for free.
All you got to do is burn the boat.
Yep,
Burn the boat.
It's a bad boat, so you might as well burn it. It ain't doing much for you.
And you're running. Whoever's running your Facebook marketing is very smart. You're also running some kind of we need 40 couples to come in and try to lose the most weight campaign. So you guys have a lot of interesting and smart things going on there, and I'm happy to be there 5 days a week. I love your coaches. I love the people.
Great.
The community's fantastic, which is what everybody says about CrossFit, which is how you know it's not a cult. And so we wish you guys the best of luck in the future, and we'll be there.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Really appreciate being here.